Greetings, my beloved children. Today we will continue to talk about the middle sub-level of the higher astral. This case seems to be the most complicated for you to understand, as the inhabitants of this sub-level, like yourselves, are also seeking the light and attempting to encourage the progression of humanity towards ascension by making the best use of their abilities and their understanding of what is happening. It must be admitted that they have done much to do this. The flood of information about Ascension that has been flooding you and generating interest in the issue is their most important service to humanity. And the fact that they submit someone else's name they consider to be harmless tricks to make the information they give you through various channels reliable. It is worth mentioning that in the early stage of transmission, when the frequency of human vibration was not high yet, these tricks could be allowed. But the stage of old age has now reached an end. Many of you have experienced a jump in vibration frequency and have become too mature for such messages. Thousands upon thousands have had their higher chakras and pineal glands activated. They are ready to move to the next level and hear the voices of the higher powers of the universe. At this point, their interest begins to contradict those of the astral beings. Many people do not resonate with their vibrations, and this means that they no longer feed them with this energy. As a result, the astral beings have to fight for a place in the sun by fighting for the human channels capable of conferring messages from the higher powers of the universe. It is at this point that their positive influence on people ceases. In fairness, it should be noted that many of the inhabitants of this sub-level accept the changes. Along with the people whose energy they were feeding on, they begin to ascend to the next stage of spiritual development and move to the higher sub-level of the higher astral. Whereas those who persist in their usual way of life often fall down to the middle sub-level of the higher astral, and sometimes even to the bottom level of the astral. As astral beings are your reflection, negative emotions such as pride, vanity, self-admiration, power and control over the minds of others function in the same way as in people through whom they have channeled their messages, of course. Their long-lasting duet, the energetic relationships, cannot be ruined overnight. And the person who has channeled their messages for a long time would have to possess a really strong will and a pure soul to confess to himself and to the readers of the messages that they have been dictated not by the higher powers of the universe, but by the astral beings who submit their names. So far, this has only happened to some people who have managed to look at themselves from the side, to look at the situation from above, and to recognize the imposters for what they are. Remember, dear ones, that even in such a situation, you should not blame those who have tried to make the most of their abilities and resources in order to help you. You should thank them wholeheartedly for the lesson you have learned and the knowledge that they have shared, and then move on to another stage of ascension. And I bless you for that. The Absolute Father, who loves you beyond measure, has spoken to you. This message was channeled by Marta, and it was read for you by Adriana.